And we're live.
Was not expecting full frontal male nudity, but
Well, that's what we bring here to the show.
What, class?
Sure, if you want to call it that.
Sure. All right.
do you have any idea what I just said?
Nope, didn't hear you. I took my headphones off, man.
Well, best episode of TVGP ever. See you guys later. See you in 2015. Oh, shit.
I don't know what happened.
It was the musical Hair, and at the end of the first act, like the lights get dark, and it's just quick flash, and there's like 9 dongs hanging out in front of everyone. Just hey, how you doing? And I'm sitting in between these 2 old ladies, and they're all laughing their asses off us. I just saw that, right? Like, oh yeah, we read it in the program. I was like, you read the program?
Who does that?
It says in the program you can see some yak.
May contain wangs.
Yeah, may contain wangs. But no, it was a fun show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't really expecting that. And then I thanked
never
my buddy
do.
for getting me tickets, and I'm like, hey man, it's like, oh, I hope you have a good time. I was like, yeah, the man candy's a bit of a surprise. And he's like, yeah, it always is.
You knew? You knew and you didn't tell me.
That's brutal, man.
Hey, if you're going to live theater, there's always a chance you're gonna see some dong.
Yeah, that is true. We last night we had a bunch of people over and watched the unauthorized Saved by the Bell story because bad Lifetime movies are the best.
Oh,
I
was it?
love what all of that. I love that whole sentence.
It was awful. It wasn't even a good bad movie. It was just a bad movie. It was completely flat. Like there was no climax. There was no emotion. It was just.
It was
really
the
just
intro to Saved by the Bell.
pretty much, yeah. It was just like terrible, and like it was told from the point of view of Screech. So
Naturally,
who cares?
as one does.
Yeah. And it was just they
America's great raconteur, Screech.
So I mean, I was expecting like I don't know, what was the principal's name, Mr. Fielding?
Belding.
Belding, yeah, Mr.
Yeah.
Belding. I was expecting some weird behind the stories about how this dude was just a creep.
No,
But
he was
no.
barely featured. He was barely featured. It was all about how Screech got into booze. And how like the whole cast was dating each other, and like nobody, like the whole network was like, "Don't tell anybody," and it was really tame. It was really kind of like, "Oh, that's unauthorized."
I want
That's
like a
lame.
behind the music sort of thing. It's like, and when they come back, his career ended
wanted-
for good.
Yeah.
I wanted a Leif Garrett moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, you saved my life, man.
Well, and the whole reason, and honestly, the whole reason we get together for these is like when they did the Scott Peterson one or whichever one it was, where Rob Lowe was in it. He was a cop, so we had bacon and pork things as snacks because cop pig,
Yeah.
it goes together. There's a theme. Well, last night's theme was school cafeteria food, so it was like chicken nuggets and Bosco sticks and like just horrible things for you. It was like the worst meal I've had in like 5 years. But like fantastic, but awful for me. I think it aged me by like a year. Like just my stomach afterwards was just like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that.
I thought we were friends, bro.
Yeah. It was a good time.
Yikes. All right, you could. It's gonna be a great episode.
It really is.
Are you gents ready to begin?
Yes.
Got the Maridama.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think Knobs is ready. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston. Going around the room, we got Knobs.
Sup?
And we have the Hannah.
Hey.
Let's just... new episode of Pup RPG
Yeah.
Love out today. If you're watching the live stream, that's tomorrow. Go enjoy it. We talk a lot about RPGs and a ton about a lot of really weird, crazy games.
Yeah.
Enjoy. All right, let's get right into it. Mr. Noblock, how are you?
Yeah, Browns lost, so I'm kind of bummed. But they came back they were down 27-3 at the half, and they tied it up and all by the fourth quarter and lost it in a last-second field goal. Oh,
it hurts us.
The joy of being a Browns fan.
Anyways,
it's fantastic.
I don't know if joy's the right word.
I feel like
man.
I should be medicated.
Yeah.
But on the upswing, after we recorded last week on Labor Day, there was a nice little golf outing I went to, and I won free golf for the month of September.
Yes.
Nice.
Congratulations.
So, the funny thing is that the course that I have paid for maybe one round in the last 7 years.
Nice.
Because I know the people that work there.
Nice.
But it's either here or there. It was still awesome to win something, like on actual physical accolades and stuff. It was a blind 9
That's my
scramble. So what they do is you blind 9. That is a good name. I never thought of that. Blind 9 Productions.
It
was a wicka. Yeah, sorry. I started watching Trailer Park Boys again with Z. But anyway, but no, what you do is you play all 18 holes, randomly pick 9 holes. So you could do like the holes you do well on could be, or ones you do bad on might not be in your score. So it was really cool.
Interesting.
Very cool.
But anyway, so I've played a ridiculous amount of golf. Like I almost hit 27 holes yesterday.
Jeez.
Wow.
And 9 on Friday, 9 on Tuesday. It was dumb. 18 on Monday. Like it was stupid the amount of golf I did this week.
You just train up for the pros. FedEx Cup.
Oh, and so that'll be my resignation. I'm just gonna go up to the show. Here's my card. I'm out.
Yeah. Here's my number on the FedEx Cup leaderboards. Peace.
Dang.
Yeah. Here I am. Here, you can play as me in the next Tiger game.
Yeah.
See me on the Masters, suckers. No. But in the meantime, I've been playing. I think we only had a couple nights of Battlefield this last week.
Nice.
Monday night game night's always a riot. I don't remember much of the conversation, but I'm sure it was dumb.
I think that's
I'm just
almost guaranteed at this
assuming.
point.
But yeah, it is. It's at least six of us hanging out, having a great time, just shooting the crap and shooting each other and trying to take tags. Ooh, I don't remember if this was last week or during this week where we were all split up on different teams, and Tom Gamer ended up on his own team, and he refused to switch until someone killed him. And of course, I found him skulking around in the weeds, and I took his tags. I was like, "Come on over."
Nice.
That was a good moment. I should have recorded it, but I didn't. But it was fun. But the thing that's got its hooks in me more than anything else is obviously more golf. Is Power Star Rivals mode.
Yeah, thank you,
I've taken
because I
down
played
2.
a lot of that this week. You monster. That made me hook my Xbox One back up.
That is a great competitive mode.
Yeah.
Like I've been chasing Move Pier's -17 round at the Coyote Challenge, Coyote Canyons or whatever it is, where you have to make some really stupid shots.
Which, by the way, I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. So, when I fired up Power Star Golf, so by the way, I haven't fired this up in quite a while. Rivals mode, they did patch into it, and they gave you Coyote Canyon for free. So those are the things that are different from when I last played. When I fired up, I was level 14. I'm like, all right, that seems pretty okay. And I look at your level, you're like level 70, and I was like, wow, okay. Look at Moon, he's like 122.
Wow.
I was just like, what? What happened? Moon.
Well, I'm level 85 now.
Jeez. I know you level up pretty fast, but man.
No, I've been playing the game like an absurd amount of time.
Yeah.
Like every time I get a free chance, I'm sitting down, I'm trying to knock down someone's rival score.
It's just so easy
Mostly,
because it doesn't take that long.
No, well, you can either play against them and see his shots, or you just hit markers only, and it's just literally you playing around by yourself.
Yeah. I like the ability
But
to
on the
see shots, though, because you can see everybody's kind of pro skill shots and like tricks and tips.
Nice.
I would love for someone to play against my Coyote Canyon negative 18 round, because honestly, I had no business catching them. Like, I was up, and then I started playing like garbage, and it was 2 huge chip ins. One was for an eagle, and we were tied going into that last par 3 where you're on like the sky chair, and like I had overshot the green, and I'm like, no, we're tied, and I just blew it. I had a meltdown. And then the next shot, I chipped it, and I was like, oh, never mind, I got you. Because he was in the party with me when it was going on.
Oh.
Like, the ebb and flow of the excitement in it. And I just took down his minus 14 on amateur on City Park, which there are holes in that where you just cannot score on. Like,
No.
you're lucky to walk away with a par, even on amateur.
Yeah.
It's just some strategically placed trees on that course where you really can't take advantage of how far you can hit a ball.
Yeah.
So I've unlocked, I don't know how many elite packs. I have yet to get a caddy perk.
Weird.
Not one.
That, I wonder if you have to buy one of the lower ones to get a perk.
I don't know. It's absolutely bizarre because I figured that'd be something they would dish out like candy.
Yeah. To everyone watching the live stream, Knobs is a little delayed here. There's one of the 3 of us is having internet issues.
Yeah. It's operating over
I could
satellite
always
today.
quote.
I'll fix it in post.
I'm gonna knock down Dropbox.
That might be a good idea.
But
I don't know if
anyway,
it's doing anything.
Yeah, I don't know either. But no, other than that, I mean, like, I've been playing a crap ton of it. Like, I'm itching to play it like right now because I can't. It's gonna be too late in the day for me to go golfing today. But even the trifecta, I started playing Fairway Solitaire again.
Yes.
Nice.
So now I'm even the card games I'm playing are related to golf. This is dumb.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
But yeah, pretty much other than chasing high scores all week, that's pretty much all I've done. I think I'm level 82. I got my silver bars now in Battlefield.
Jeez.
And that game, that game is streaky. It is so streaky. Because you could be having a miserable time, and then you'll haul off on this little killing streak, and you'll feel like you're the best in the world at the game.
Yeah.
Nice.
But I've had it in my hands twice. I've been really itching to buy Diablo, but I think I'm gonna wait until later in the year when things really slow down that I can really sit down and play that game, especially with a few people in multiplayer. But
Yeah.
so that's kind of where I am.
All right.
Live feeder and golf.
All right, Hannah, what about you?
I played myself a bunch of Diablo, specifically this morning. I'm literally right outside the Azmodan fight, and I forgot exactly how long it takes you to get from where it's like, all right, we're gonna go get Azmodan, to here he is.
Yeah.
And it
like
takes
20 hours.
Yeah, and it's the longest stretch because that what is that, like the Heart of Sin level? I think it is. Just there's so many. You got to go down one tower and then through this whole thing and then down another tower, and then you fight the sub boss and then you move on and then you can fight Azmodan. And I was like sitting downstairs saying like, all right, I record in like 10 minutes. I should probably, all right, do I go and progress towards the fight? And I thought it would just be like, oh, drop you in a level and it'll just be a corridor and you go fight him. No, it's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna call this a day on this game and get back here. I hit level 54, which is pretty great because I had a bunch of items and stuff that I was saving for this level. And I got a whole ton of legendaries in my mailbox.
Nice.
Because I put my PSN name up on the Giant Bomb forums and got like 7 or 8 extra people on my friends list.
Ooh.
So I just got a bunch of stuff. And I open it up, I'm like, oh, so all the stuff that's in my stash is now obsolete because all this stuff. I think those items generate when you open the package.
It seems like it, yeah.
So I got like 6 or 7 legendaries, and I used like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
And I got 2 new weapons. I switched back to using 2 one-handed weapons because the stat boost is just better than using a single two-handed weapon on the barbarian, at least for now. I'd have to sit down and really compare to see which one's actually better for me, but I don't have that kind of time, so I'm just going to go with what seems to be working right now.
Yeah.
Get the spreadsheet out.
Yeah,
the flow chart.
Nah, I'm just gonna go with the little arrows, and the little arrows right now tell me that what
arrows
I'm
never
working
lie.
with is arrows never lie. That is true. So
But if it's one point, you really like using a weapon. Well, really, what's one point?
Yeah.
exactly. But I'm digging the faster attack speed I get out of the 2 weapons as well too. It feels like I'm doing more damage in a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
Just overall. I played a little bit of Don't Starve Giants Edition because that came out this week on Vita, and it was weird because I don't know how they update the PlayStation Store, but whatever they're doing, it takes forever for everything to propagate properly.
Yeah.
Because you'll go on like the web store and it'll be like, oh yeah, you've got this is yours, but you'll go on the Vita or the PS3 and it'll be like, no, this hadn't updated yet.
Yeah.
Like you'd think they'd all feed off the same like server or set of servers. And they pretty clearly don't. So I don't know what they're doing.
And it's weird, too, because they do it in the middle of the day Pacific time, too.
Yes.
So
Yes,
some
they
regions
do.
are just like, hey, man, I don't know, check on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Might as well. So I'm on like day 4. I still haven't gotten past like the basic stuff. I finally found some rocks that I could mine.
Yeah.
That took forever for some reason. Like I was like, I couldn't figure out how to make the science machine because I'm like, well, I'm picking up the flint. Is that not what I need? Because the icons are really similar.
Yeah.
And I finally get to a boulder, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I need to mine the boulder. And right before I put it down, probably Thursday night, I cracked open a boulder, and it was like a cave underneath it.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, oh, cool, I'll go in the cave.
Oh, no.
And I went in the cave.
Oh, no.
And I turned it off because I was like, I'm tired.
Get out of the cave.
Get out of the cave?
Go in the cave.
Don't go in the cave yet?
You have to
Okay.
be so normally I would just be like, oh, look what's in the cave. But the cave will ruin your game.
Yeah.
Basically, what happens is you lose sanity at probably about triple the speed. when you're down
that's
there.
what that is. How do you gain sanity back?
Either
Go to the light.
yeah, that's actually one of them. I think you can hang out near a bonfire at night,
Sweet.
or pick. I think it's 12 flowers and make one of those flower headband things. That
Oh,
restores
okay.
your sanity.
The garland. Okay.
Yeah, garland.
Or you find the Jahanti dagger.
Yes.
I want the knife.
I want the knife.
I want the knife.
Yeah, but the thing is, the caves are really good, and they give you a ton of stuff. But it's basically a cave can be as large as the world you're in already.
Oh yeah, I figured that out. You know why I got tired? Because I was tired of waiting for it to load.
Yes,
It took forever because it had to
Yeah.
generate.
it takes a while, and it's really tough down there. There's gonna be a lot of spiders. There's gonna be a lot of
Okay.
things you haven't seen yet.
All right, cool. Then I will get out of the cave.
Yeah,
Thanks
you
for the tip. I would have died.
I think you can also help yourself a little bit if you get a miner's hat.
Okay.
But those are a little bit hard to make.
All right.
So-
I'll have to find that. I haven't even made my first science machine. Like I'm still looking for gold, so I can make the science machine.
Yeah. Do
So
you
I
know
can
do you know where to
science.
get gold? Is this the first time
No
you're playing
clue.
Don't Starve?
Like first time I'm really playing it. The first time I like sat down with it was just sort of like, oh, I'll try it remote play on the PS4. Oh, that was cool, and then I never looked at it again.
So, just a tip, because I feel like the game does not equip you very well for the beginning stuff as
No,
as
not
it
at all.
should.
No.
To get gold, you need to look for those large boulders that
Okay.
they look like they have little gold flecks in them. There's
Okay.
kind of two of them. And the easiest place to find boulders are those kind of dusty orange yellow areas. Those are
Okay.
always guaranteed to have some sort of boulders.
Oh, sweet. I will check that out then.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really interesting game. It's So I had been anticipating Terraria for the Vita for the longest time, and then when it came, I was really disappointed with how they handled the interface.
Oh yeah.
Which is sort of actually not as mean as I could be about that, but this has the interface I wish Terraria would have had.
Yeah.
They handled it really well. They assign like, okay, you hit L and it activates the left hand menu, and you hit R and it activates the right hand menu or the bottom menu.
Yeah.
But when you're in normal mode, you can use the left stick and navigate the bottom menu freely, so you can equip stuff quickly, and it's just much easier than Terraria ever was.
Yeah, I was really surprised at how they managed to put that interface on consoles. It's one of those. It's just like Diablo 3, where it's like, this is not going to work. Like I know that you need a mouse to do these things. You need a full keyboard. This is not going to work. And you play it, and you're like, oh, all right. You guys clearly thought about it, and you clearly figured it out, and it works. All right.
Yeah. I was also shocked that I can actually rotate the view of the world.
Yeah. That
you
tricks
like
me out a lot.
Yeah, you swipe the back of the Vita, and I was like, oh, okay. I can do
interesting.
That. Yeah. But I did that on accident. I was like, wait, what happened?
Yeah. Man, that game is so good. I didn't expect to like Don't Starve at all, but both my fiance and I started playing it at the same time. We're both like, all right, this is kind of okay. And about 4 hours later, we're like, oh, why am I so hungry? Oh, it's like 8 p.m. Well,
yeah.
Crap.
Oh, that's good stuff. And I also played a little bit of Fable Anniversary on 360.
Oh.
I've always had a soft spot for the first Fable game. Probably one of my favorite gaming memories is getting that game, and then the day it came out, and me and my friend Tony stayed up probably 24 hours straight and just finished it.
Jeez.
Just sort of taking shifts and like, all right, I'll take a nap.
Man, games are so short these days.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I could finish it in one sitting.
But this was when, like, I think we were just, when did this come out? I think we were either still in high school or, like, just out of high school.
Kind of that perfect time where it's like, I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
You ain't got no job. You ain't got no money.
Well, no, I had a job.
It's Friday.
But I was working at GameStop, so I had access to all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, what else am I going to spend my money on? So I
Video
ended up
games.
playing that. So
I can think of things teenagers will spend their money on.
All I spent my money on was video games, so...
Yeah. So I start playing it, and the first thing I notice, and I immediately just get a little angry about it, because I move the camera with the left stick, and normally when you move a camera in a game, it's like, it'll move, and then when you stop moving the camera, it stops, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Fable Anniversary. You move the camera, and it stops, and it kicks back probably about 5% of the screen.
What?
To the other way you were pointing.
What? You have broken video games.
What? It just
assumes you're overcompensating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing here is, like, I'm like, is it an auto aim thing? I'm like, no, I don't think it's an auto aim thing. Is it? I think it's an artifact of them moving it to, like, widescreen. Maybe I can't really.
Maybe. It's like this weird bug where they're like, I don't know. That's like a low priority. Maybe we just won't fix it.
Well, and the other thing is, I don't even think it's running at like a stable 30 frames per second.
Well, it is Fable, so
yeah. But here's my thing. If you're gonna do an HD remake of a game, your main priority should be that the game runs well on the hardware it's on.
Yeah, because it's not even really a remaster. Like
it's not.
They redid that entire game.
Yeah. There's no reason for it to be this terrible, like, janky looking. I mean, it looks good. Yeah. It looks like Fable, but it looks, not as low resolution as the original. But it just has all these weird little things. And I haven't even gotten into the main part of the game yet, so I don't know how it's going to affect the main part of the game. But I got through, like, the tutorials and stuff. And I'm just about to walk out of the Heroes Guild and go out into the world when I put it down, because I was like, I need to get some sleep. It was like 2 a.m. And I'm just, I'm a little disappointed that they sort of messed with the camera and the controls a little bit. I was kind of like, oh,
Oh
that's
man, guys, come
disappointing.
on.
Come on, don't ruin my
Well,
memories of
and
this
it's
game.
and it's sort of interesting because I'm kind of I understand why they're coming out with it on 360.
Yeah,
And they're coming out with it on PC this week.
yeah,
Kind of surprised they're not coming out with it on Xbox One. That seems
yeah.
like for a certain number of people, not necessarily a system seller, but a game they would have to pick up when they pick up an Xbox One.
Yeah,
Well, maybe because of these exact reasons.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe it would take too much work to smooth out the edges, and they're like, whatever, we'll just put it on PC. Who cares?
Yeah, but why handle one black guy when you can have two?
You raise a good point.
yeah. But yeah, so I don't know if I'll play a little bit more of it just so I can offer like a fair estimate. But like right now, I don't know if I can recommend picking up that game.
Yeah.
I didn't pay much for it. I think I paid like 25 for it, so I'm not
That's not
terribly. Yeah, and it's a game I know I like, and I'll play it eventually. You know, I'll be like, oh, I want to play me some Fable. All
It's a
right.
rainy weekend. I'm not feeling well. I'll play some Fable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the last couple games I played this weekend, I decided to go out to an event that was happening in Chicago this weekend called Bit Bash, which is a local like little indie games festival that sort of spotlights like Chicago developers, and they have other developers there too, but like the main spotlight is games being developed by people from Chicago.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. It was small. It was at the headquarters for the T-shirt company Threadless. They have this big like warehouse that they can throw events in really easily. It's in the West Loop. It's in a really nice area. It was a nice little drive getting down there from where I'm at. I'm about 45 minutes out of the city. Really a half hour, but the last 15 minutes of getting into the city, the last like 2 miles takes like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Thanks, traffic. And I played. I only played a couple of games because there was a lot of lines and I didn't have a lot of time. I had a lot of stuff going on yesterday. I wanted to stay longer, but I did get to play 2 games in particular that I thought were worth mentioning. The first is a platformer called Even the Ocean.
Okay.
It's sort of it's like it's a 2D pixel art platformer that has sort of a mechanic like Ikaruga or like Outland did when it came out.
Yeah.
Where you've got like light and dark, and so the level I was playing, you started off and you're in this area and there are these clouds of like smoke, and one of them's like a light blue, one of them's like a dark purple. And you have an energy bar, and the energy bar takes up the whole bottom of the screen, and half of it's that purple, half of it's that light blue. And the whole point is to keep a balance by standing in that smoke for a little while. And if you get too much of one or the other, you die.
Huh. That's interesting.
So you have to try and keep this balance, and off to the side, like to progress to the next area, there's these 2 platforms. One of them's purple, one of them's that light blue. And there's these in the other part of the area, there's a little peg that gives you a purple shield, like a purple energy shield that you have to sort of deliver over to the purple platform, and the other one gives you a blue one that you have to deliver over to the blue platform. The rub is that if you go through the purple smoke with the blue shield, the shield disappears, and vice versa.
Oh.
So you have to go through this whole series of steps and like go over and around. You can wall jump. You have a shield you can use to like block stuff.
So it sort of sounds like Ikaruga, the puzzle game.
Sort of, yeah. And it was really interesting. I wish it would have had controller support because we're sitting there and we're playing on like SteelSeries, like nice keyboards, but you're still playing a platformer on a keyboard with like wall jumping and stuff. And like if you haven't played a platformer with a keyboard in a while, it's real rough.
Yeah,
it's not fun.
Yeah,
but it's an interesting concept of game. I think when it comes out, I would definitely be willing to throw some money at it just to see what came of it. If there's controller support, I would really like to see that. The only other game I got a chance to really play, other than just like watch and play or like play for like 2 seconds, was this arcade cabinet, this really big arcade cabinet called Killer Queen.
I like the name out of hand.
Oh, hold on. This is a 5 versus 5 strategy arcade game. So on one side you have 5 players.
Okay.
On the other side you have 5 players. There's a blue side and there's an orange side. And you are bees.
Oh, I thought you were going to be Queen and Evil Queen.
Oh, you wish.
Yeah.
That would have been sweet. And it sort of is, actually, because the center controller is the queen bee, and she can... Every controller has the joystick and one button that does something.
Okay.
Generally, it's jump. In the case of the queen, it's jump and flap, so you can actually fly around the map. There's 3 paths to victory. You can kill the enemy queen 3 times, and the way you attack is by like dive bombing. So you flap around and then you pull down on the joystick, and they go into a dive bomb, and just it's all 2D. It's very reminiscent of Joust, actually. And it's sort of like Joust mixed with I'm trying to think how to describe it. It's like Joust meets like the original Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Like the arcade game. The others, I think they're like workers or something. There's like warriors as well that can do the same thing that the queen can, but to like a lesser extent. And the like workers that go and gather. There's little spots where you can gather like these purple, like it's supposed to be nectar, I assume, and you take it back to the top to like your spawn point, and you fill. There's like a grid, and if you get enough of those, you win. You can kill the enemy queen 3 times. You can get what they call an economic victory, which is fill up your hive.
It's invest in your 401k.
Yeah, sort of.
I may be a drone bee, but, my future is safe.
Yeah. Well, and then the last thing is at the bottom, on the one side, on each side there's a cage of corresponding color. So if you're blue team, there's a blue cage. On the orange team, there's an orange or like gold-looking cage. And there's a snail on the bottom of the level. And the worker bees can hop on the snail and ride it to the other side.
Yes.
And that's another way you can win. So you can win by military victory, taking out the enemy queen.
Okay.
Economic victory, collecting a bunch of stuff, or snail.
Snail victory is the best
Snail
victory.
Snail victory. Yeah. Well, snail victory is the best because like half the time you don't notice it because you got so much other stuff happening on the screen. And this is literally, it's a full built-out arcade cabinet. I don't know where they're set up. I think there's a couple like barcades in Chicago that have copies of this. I'd have to look it up, but it was really fun.
Wow.
It was like a stupid amount of fun, and I could see this being like a really interesting. Just like I would love to see it out on like Steam or something. Just something really dumb, really simple. But it sort of loses it when you take it out. I think it would lose something if you took it out of like the arcade context.
Yeah, but I mean, you can. The other benefit too of it is you have Killer Queen stuck in your head for the rest of the day, which is always a benefit.
And it's a really well put together cabinet. It's not just like they put like, oh, here's like a couple joysticks. It's not just like this plain cabinet.
It's a piece of plywood with a tablet taped.
Yeah, just 2 iPads.
No, it's like 2 giant, like probably 42 or 47-inch TVs.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, they're huge. And it's 5 controls, and between each set of controls, so like there's 3 cup holders, so it's like clearly designed to be put in like a barcade.
Yeah.
It was really impressive.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 games I actually like sat down and played. There was a couple other ones that I saw that I found really interesting. There's one called Crawl.
Crawl is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to play that with people so badly.
I did too, but the line was way too long.
Is it based on the movie?
No,
It's not.
CRAWL, not Crawl. No, Crawl is super cool because it's a 4-player multiplayer game that's primarily focused on couch co-op.
Yeah.
And it's basically 1 person is a human, 3 people are ghosts, and they can spawn monsters on these little pentagrams on the floor.
Yeah.
And whatever ghost kills a human then becomes the human.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how many pints of blood they spilled as a ghost, then they get stronger when they play. Giant Bomb has been playing it for like 6 months, and it looks so much fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was really cool to see it in action. Another game I saw was Relativity, which was very Portal-esque. So it's the idea of relativity is that it imagines a universe with a different set of physical laws, and you could sort of turn walls into floors
Okay,
and
then.
move stuff around. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to play that one. Once again, there was a line, but it was really cool. Up on the main screen, they were playing Gang Beasts,
Yeah. Oh God, Gang Beasts. Gang Beasts is
which
so ridiculous.
is it just mascots fighting? Like
No,
that's what it
so
looks like.
this is what's so weird is the last update they put out. Now everybody's dressed up in like a chicken costume or a dragon or something. Before it was
Like
just like these
alligators and stuff.
colored blobs.
Okay.
But Gang Beasts seems really hard to explain, but it's basically just a crazy wrestling game.
Okay.
Like all it is basically try and pick up and throw your friends or knock them out and throw them in front of a train.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, that's
it's
what it looked like.
crazy.
I watched a few matches and like since that was on the big like projector screen there, I was like, that's really cool. I'm never gonna get a chance to play that. That line's like 20, 30 people long
Yeah.
still. There was one other game I saw that was just crazy enough to be worth mentioning. I'm going to read the exact description on that they put on the site and on the little like card above the game. It's called Synthesis. Synthesis is an abstract molecular dynamics simulator played by programming cellular automata.
I hate everything about that.
Yeah, but it looked so cool because it had like a vector graphics feel to it, so I was immediately drawn to
God.
it.
Oh my God.
And like it looks like you're trying to put together like a complex life form at the cellular level, and I was like, that's gonna be boring, but that
Like,
looks cool.
How much mustache wax was involved in creating that game? Well,
Do you have to do
Far more
as
than you think.
As you step up to that cabinet, you got to slip into a pair of skinny jeans and a hipster vest.
yeah.
Actually, no, it was on a PC, so you didn't have to really do anything special.
it's only
Thank you.
available on Linux.
Yeah,
No, it's only available on Mac.
yeah.
Mac. It only works on a MacBook Pro 05.
Or it's just like OS 7.
Oh, it was really underrated, guys.
Yeah.
But
you
I
might
just
not
saw
have
that.
seen it.
I saw that, and I read the description for it, and I was like, no, I can't play that.
It's
I
also
can't.
like, is that the best place to show that game?
No, not at
Yeah.
all. There was a whole ton of games there. There was actually also a poster gallery, and I very happily picked up this guy. I don't know how well you can
Oh,
see
nice.
him. This guy.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So it's like the
That's
Castlevania.
even better.
Yeah.
Wow.
Real fan of that. That is by artist named Hugo Treo. And I was like, yeah, I'm buying that one.
I do have to apologize for the creators of Synthesis if you are listening to this episode. That game could be pretty cool. Like, what was that game? What was that game on PC that's been out for a little bit where you're making, you're putting together like molecular structures? It's huge on Steam, but it's
I forget what it is.
nearly impassable.
Yeah.
I'll look it up while we're talking.
Yeah, Anyway, it was a lot of fun. I wish I would have had more time to spend there. Unfortunately, I had somewhere to be at like 5. I got there at like 3:30. I ended up leaving around like 5:30.
Yeah.
So I only got to spend like 2 hours there. I wish I would have played more. I wish I would have been able to play a lot more Killer Queen, because I could play that all night. And it was a really good time. I think if they have, I hope they have another one either next year or within the next, if they make it a regular thing, I'll totally go again. But that's pretty much all I played this week.
I have been playing, unsurprisingly, a bunch of Diablo 3. I'm
No.
like level 67 on
Yeah.
my hardcore playthrough, so I'm
Sweet.
so close. That will be my third to last trophy.
Nice.
The one thing that the Hannah talked about the mail system. I'm surprised we haven't talked about the Nemesis system yet.
Oh yeah, I got killed by a nemesis earlier today.
Yeah, so this is super cool, and I really hope that they port this in the mail system back to the PC version.
Mm-hmm.
So the Nemesis system, how it works is, if a monster kills you in your game, every once in a while there'll be a chance for it to just teleport out of your game and into your friend's game. And
Nice.
every time it does that, it gets stronger and stronger. So Typically, I don't play with the sound on. Apparently, there's some sort of like horn and drum fanfare when it's coming your way.
Oh, okay.
It just vibrates the hell out of the controller.
Mm.
And then it dumps in your game, and typically you'll get the monster, which is super powered and has all of the effects that elite monsters have. And then the person that they killed will hop into your game too. So, like, it'll kill my brother, and this giant, horned demon will jump into my game, and a fully decked out crusader.
Nice.
So
is it controlled automatically, the Crusader?
Yeah, and it will mess you up.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because it turns, as soon as you start hearing that, you're like, okay, I have to clear out this whole area because this horrible thing is coming to just mess me up.
Yeah.
And typically it's kind of a battle, but if you're smart about it, you can get through it fairly easily. The other day, I had a nemesis come into my game, and it has little pictures underneath its name of how many of your friends it has killed. It had killed 5 people. It one-shotted me.
Wow.
Like,
What?
It just... And I'm like sleepwalking my way through Torment 1 on my Demon Hunter, and it just dropped in, hit me once, and teleported back out. And I'm just like, I feel badly because now it's even stronger, and I have no idea whose game that's going to.
Yeah.
But, so it's kind of cool where it's like, whoever's getting this next, I'm sorry because it's stronger now, but the only thing I would really want to see is if it has killed more than one of my friends, or it has jumped into my game, killed me, and teleported out. I kind of want to get a piece of mail that tells me who killed it and how many people it had killed before it got taken down.
That would be cool.
I kind of want like the Nemesis obituary, where it's sort of like, all right, this person, Oddball 42 finally took it down. It had killed 13 people before he took it down. That's kind of the only next step I would want to see, just to know, like, because now the question is, like, is it still rocking around in our games? Like, has it just killed 30 people now and it's unstoppable?
What happens?
So.
I would imagine if it keeps catching people off guard, it's going to get to that point where it's now Diablo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It just graduated to, hey,
Guess
you're
what?
the new
He's
Diablo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that it's those little things that I think they did a really good job on with these console versions. And even though you're playing by yourself, it still has this really great kind of semi-social feeling to it, because I love just something dropping on the ground and it's like, hey, it's mail for, the Hannah. And it's like, oh, okay, well, here's a legendary, go crazy. Or you log in and it's like, oh, I have mail. I got mail the other day from a bunch of people, and I got 2 legendaries and 2 set pieces. And I was just like, great. Everybody wins in this scenario. So
It's really the best.
yeah, God, it's so good. We were talking about Power Star Golf, but the majority of the time I've been spending lately has been playing The Sims 4, which came out last week.
I didn't even know it was out. Wow.
Yeah, real quiet launch. I kind of understand why, because everyone seems to hate change. So there's some things that I feel like EA was fairly forthcoming about before the game came out, mostly surrounding the lack of pools, which honestly is not that big of a deal. It would have been great if they were there, but they don't. I understand why people are upset about them being missing, and I'm a little bit upset about them because to me that's a fundamental Sims thing. That's very much, the first thing is, hey, can I throw someone in the pool and remove the ladder? Yep, still good. All right, let me start a new family that isn't dead. That's sorry, I just remember the name of this game. It's called Space Chem.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I just remember that while I was literally talking about another game. What's wrong with me? So I can understand why people are upset about that being missing, because it's been in there since The Sims 1. And you can sort of figure, like, hey, if you can make it for The Sims 1, you'll probably do it for 4, but, not a major change. I I think it's really weird that the open world isn't there anymore. There are little segments of this community. There's 2 communities in there. One that kind of looks like Southern California, and then one that kind of looks like the Midwest, which I find very ironic. And each one has like one little segment will be like 4 plots of land for homes.
Okay.
And then another segment will be like the gym and the library and the museum. You know, it'll be a couple of stores, and there'll be another segment next to it with a couple more stores. So it's a lot more chopped up than The Sims 3 was, but I kind of actually don't mind that because it doesn't melt my machine like The Sims 3 still does, because it's trying to render all of this stuff, and it would take forever to load.
Yeah.
So I think between those 2 things and EA not releasing early copies of the game for review, I think it was a very soft launch.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty buggy, so I think that's kind of a good thing for them to do. But we were talking about it at work the other day that someone was like, "Oh, how's The Sims 4?" And I was like, "Well, it's The Sims."
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of extra stuff now. Like there are more moods, there's more personality options. There are really great and really crazy facial animations. And when you go to create a sim, you can actually pull the parts of their body that you want to change. Instead of like going into a thing and like pulling the slider for nose. It's like, no, I just want a really big nose. You can just kind of pull that out. You want a really chubby dude, you just kind of pull out the sides, pull out the front. You know, it makes it a lot more. Make
it sound like it's like spreading taffy.
Well, if you can make some weird looking Sims, so in that case maybe. So that makes it a little bit more fun, and
it's the Sims Gumby edition.
Yeah, it's the Sims Mario 64 start screen edition. The one big change that I think I really enjoyed, and I think people are probably going to be really upset about this, but when you start a game, the tutorial is a little overbearing, but I don't think in a necessarily bad way. But when you first start, they say, all right, here's an empty plot of land over here. If you're just starting The Sims 4, we would recommend you kind of plop down a house in there. And when you go in there and you say, all right, I'm going to move this family that I just created into this new house, you get an option of a empty lot, an unfurnished home, or a fully furnished home.
Nice. So I like that.
I picked fully furnished, and the home is just ready. Like, they just move in, there's a kitchen, there's a bedroom, there's a bathroom, and there's a living room. And they have, like, they don't have a dishwasher, but they have an okay stove. You know, they already have a TV. The bed is okay. Like, everything is kind of the lowest level of everything you can purchase. But that's okay, because I didn't have to make a house right off the bat. Which you still have the option of doing, which is great. And you still have the option of, hey, I just want to buy a room full of this stuff. Like, I want to buy a new living room. You drag out this living room, and it's fully furnished. Or
That's
just build
awesome.
the walls and just lay it down. The wallpaper, the carpet, everything. You know, it's still... You still have the options to do it. Or if you're like me and you just want to focus on the Sims themselves instead of building a house, typically, that to me is a really huge feature, to just say, like, look, I just want a bathroom. What do they need so that they won't go crazy? Oh, right, I always forget to put in a sink, so they have to go to the kitchen to wash their hands. You know, it's like, it's little stuff like that where it's like, I don't want to worry about it. So far, it's really good. Like, I'm a huge Sims fan. I really, really enjoy those games, which is funny that it always surprises people. They're like, oh, I didn't know you liked The Sims. It's like, well doesn't everybody? But it's still great. It seems like there's more stuff for The Sims to do. It seems like when they're in fully autonomous mode, it seems like they're a lot smarter about being proactive about stuff.
Oh,
like
that's good.
They're not going to get to the point where their stomach is caving in. They're so hungry. Once they start getting into kind of the yellow area, they're sort of like, all right, well, I'll put it on the list of things to do. I got to go in there and I got to at least have a bowl of cereal or something, if not cook a quick meal.
Yeah.
And there's way better feedback now on... So they introduced this in The Sims 3, I think, where people can have kind of their life goals.
Ooh.
So the one guy I have, his life goal is to become like this hugely popular executive chef. And along the way, it's like, all right, you need to level up your mixology. There's bars that you can kind of tend. You need to cook these many large meals. You need to cook these many gourmet meals. And they have kind of levels at each point. The only thing I haven't done in this level right now is throw a house party, throw a dinner party, and they have all these challenges during the time frame where you're running that party. And the better you do, you get a better medal, which doesn't really seem to do anything. But you need to get a silver medal in throwing a dinner party.
Why?
Well, it's this thing, like you're kind of making this narrative of, well, if you're going to get to the next level of your dream, you need to be able to cater a party, and stuff like that. So if you don't want to do any of that stuff, you really don't need to. But that's the stuff I really like to do, is all these little tiny mini challenges.
Nice.
And I feel like the feedback on that is way better this time. And the rewards for doing that stuff, you get these happiness points, which really don't do anything. But the rewards for those are a little bit better this time. And it seems a lot easier to manage your actual job to get promotion after promotion, because it's very, very clear about, all right, at this level, you have to be performing well for a couple of days when you go to your job, and then you have to make 5 friends, and then you have to go to 3. You have to go somewhere with one of your friends, and then you'll be eligible for a promotion if you continue to do well. And before, it was just sort of like they went to work and they got a promotion. Yay! Like, I don't know what I did. So it seems like all that low-level feedback stuff, the real core of the game, seems a lot more transparent, and I think for me that makes it a lot more of a fun game than The Sims 3. I know so many people are still like, oh, Sims 2 is the best. Yeah, I get it. But I feel like the improvements they've made to the core gameplay of The Sims, at least for me, as someone who likes the sim portion of it and not the home building portion of it, it seems like a way better game. I streamed probably my first hour of it, twitch.tv/BostonHannon. So you can kind of see the setting the game up, creating your family, getting your house all set up. And probably in another week or so, I'll probably start my very favorite thing to do in The Sims, which is get a husband and wife duo together, and one is a criminal and one is a police officer, and see how long it takes them to one of the other to bust the other.
Nice.
So I'll probably stream that this time.
Nice.
And
I can't wait to see that.
See the because the thing is like it's such a delicate balance, because you want the police officer to be this virtuous person, and you want the criminal to be this kind of evil person, but they can't exist in this relationship if that's how they are. So you kind of have to smooth the edges a little bit to kind of get them to continue to be together without driving each other crazy, but they still have to be good at their jobs. So it will most assuredly be something interesting.
Very cool.
But I just like The Sims, man. I don't know. Like, I feel like The Sims is this weird game where I don't know. It seems like there's no from the outside. It doesn't seem like there's a real market for it.
Yeah.
Because at this point, most people that are seeing The Sims are like, yeah, okay, I don't play that many games, but I played The Sims 1. Like, what's new? It's like, well, nothing. I mean, for you, like, nothing. And for me, the majority of the new stuff isn't really there for me. It's there for, like, the super hardcore Sims players who are still playing The Sims 3 and have every expansion and, all that stuff.
I spent $3,000.
Yeah, like those types of people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Those.
as soon as we're done with this show, I'm going to continue to play The Sims 4. So let's take a break.
Sweet.
All right.
Oh, stretchy.
It's so hot in here.
Yeah, I have to close the window because of the cicadas.
Man, I miss
Got
cicadas.
They're not the 17-year ones, but there's enough of them that they're making noise.
Oh, that's the best noise. I should just go
the
watch
worst.
Evangelion to get that noise.
Ava, yeah.
Oh no! Try walking your dog with sandals on, and one gets in your sandal. Tell me how much you love them then. Yeah.
Yeah, God, I love him so
All
much.
right, I have been walking through the woods my entire life,
Yeah.
and I've never had that happen.
I've
Really?
stepped on a bunch.
Never.
Yeah. No, it just sort of they hopped up on in there as my foot was up, and I stepped back down on it.
Oh man,
It wasn't
One in a
like
million
sandals.
shot.
Yeah, it was like flip flops. It was like, oh god, I have to burn my foot off now.
Dimebag asks if it's raining where I'm at. No, it's been humid, like really, really humid. It's been about 100 and something degrees, and it's 85% humidity. So it is, Satan's butthole up in here. It's supposed to rain, but I think it's going to make it more humid. So I'm just going to melt, probably. That
So
sounds
it's just
okay.
like you're back in Ohio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened Friday. It was 91. Oh, hi, Samson. It was 91, and the humidity had to have been at like 80%.
Yeah.
And it was. It felt like it was almost pointless wearing clothes because they were just soaked with sweat.
Well, like yesterday when I got out of the shower, I'm like, oh man, I feel so much. Nope, already sweating again. Great.
Yeah. So Knobs, I was clicking around on Twitter and someone linked me to Antonio Brown kicking the Browns punter in the face.
Oh man, I saw a gif of that this morning. That's so bad.
And it's horrible. Like he went for it. Like I almost have to admire his form.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're gonna kick a dude in the face, like you did a good job.
He did a good job, but man, and he only got a 15-yard penalty for that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Mistakes
It
were
was
made.
like and that wasn't the part of the game where it was going so poorly too. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
Just
like
insult to
it
injury.
was like
and
it was
injury.
like that. It was like that line. I mean, we looked like a scout team that first half. Like it's like we weren't even playing the same sport, and
Yeah.
it was just like it was like I mean I was losing my mind. Like
I'm sure you were.
my throat hurt
Yeah.
within 5 minutes of kickoff.
yeah.
Like it was just a ridiculous comedy of errors, and then they started playing significantly better in the second half. And I'm like, all right, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Just wait for the other shoe to drop.
Oh man, I need to get this GIF off my screen because it's just like it's just.
Oh, it was like I was like, great. Now they have a Bradshaw moment because that's going to replace every person in Pittsburgh is going to have that poster on their walls of that dude's foot going into. You know what? Number one, all right. If you did it to someone important, you did it to a punter, dude. And
Yeah.
like
Leave him alone.
all he had to do was take one step to the left, and he had a touchdown. But no, he jumped in the air and kicked the dude in the face.
Yeah. Just to
The only
spite him.
the only way it would have been better if he had Haggard like double foot like drop kicked it.
Yeah.
Just you like give up like trying to run just 2 feet to the face.
But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a 15-yard penalty. I'm sure he's going to get fined for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was one where what a weird penalty. It was on another punt play where one of the Pittsburgh players like tackled our guy, and he just was rolling around, and the dude's helmet pops off. He got 15 yards for it. Like, oh, come on!
Speaking of
It's got snaps. It's supposed to stay on.
Speaking of GIFs, have you guys seen any of the latest footage of Bayonetta 2?
No.
No.
I would encourage you to probably maybe not watch that stuff because it is so ridiculous that I think you need to have those moments by yourself where it's just like, what? What? It's like the
Why?
suplexing the dragon part where it's just like, is this all right? I love it. Great.
Yeah.
Just keep bringing this on.
Sweet.
Oh my god. I'm so excited. Oh god.
All right.
And that's still just a Wii U exclusive.
Yep. I'm assuming that at some point, probably in a couple of years, it'll come to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Even if like they make another HD package with Bayonetta 1 and 2. But I'm super happy I have a Wii U. And I'm going to play the crap out of that
Nice.
by myself. Somewhere quiet. where no one can judge me.
That's right. Pull all the blinds.
Yeah, what are you doing in there? I'm suplexing dragons.
Nothing, Mom.
All
right.
All
You guys
right.
ready?
Yeah, let's bang this out.
Yep.
Yeah, it's ill-fitting shirt. Like it just doesn't feel right.
It's so big.
Oh. All right. Hold on. Just get the seam on the shoulder here.
Here we go.
Just try.
Gotta look fresh.
Sleeves are this weird length where they just kind of they'll droop down and then I move and then they like go soup like it's like I'm covered in ants.
I don't like it.
I don't want it. Oh, season 8 Netflix of the Trailer Park Boys is up.
Oh, okay.
It is good. I love the more bubbles, the better. I love bubbles. Get your belly. It's alright. God damn it, Julian! Now, boomer. Did you watch any of the Trailer Park Boys?
No.
No.
Oh, you got 8 seasons of comedy gold.
There we go.
Nice.
I'll watch that while I'm playing The Sims.
It's so dumb. It's great. All right, you guys ready?
Right.
Yep.
All right. Ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases this week for September 8th, 2014. Destiny for the 360, Xbox One. Why I fumbled over that? PlayStation 3 and 4.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Nice.
I'm what I'm the most is I'm surprised that I care about a Bungie game that isn't Myth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be that dude where I'm like, no, 2 days until Destiny, but I'm actually really excited.
Nice.
You know, I didn't play anything of it, and somehow inside me, like I am just ready to play this game. Like I'm itching for it, and I have no idea why.
If you like,
I don't even know what it's about.
If you like loot and you like Borderlands, it's about the moon. Who cares?
Yeah,
It's a Bungie game. Like the story isn't. I know that people are like, oh, you just don't understand the lore of Halo. No, I do, and it's not great.
Yeah.
I would
All
like to
right,
work for you though, Bungie.
You got any openings?
Yeah, open that door.
Yeah.
I hope every time a door opens at Bungie, it plays the Halo.
That'd be awesome.
No, that only happens when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
Like
or
the
HR.
door head.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
The fridge would be another good one. I'm gonna do that to my fridge now.
Just the one that holds beer.
Yeah, just that one.
Yeah.
Or
Excellent.
my freezer, it never gets opened.
Yeah.
Who freezes stuff? Come on. All right, NHL 15 for the 360, Xbox. I did it again. Xbox One and PlayStation 3 and 4.
I saw a news story about this morning that apparently a lot of people are really upset because there's a lot of modes missing.
Yeah.
There was like this laundry list of like, well, it has none of this and it has none of that, and this is missing too, and this thing kind of sucks even though it's there.
Yeah, it's missing 2 entire arenas.
Yeah.
It's missing the United Centers, the Hawks, and somebody else. I think the Flyers.
Weird.
Yeah.
Of all of them, it would be those two.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
I wonder if they were too expensive.
I doubt it.
Weird.
No.
Anywho,
it's hockey. Fable Anniversary Edition is not hockey. That's available for the PC.
it might have hockey in it. I don't know.
Who knows?
You can invent hockey.
Uh,
You can grow the tree you make the hockey sticks out of.
That's true.
There you go. Yeah, that is a thing you can do.
Alright, moving on to news stories. Last gen Destiny purchasers I don't know what a percher is, can upgrade to current gen for free. If you buy the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3 digital home entertainment system version of...
Thanks, Nintendo.
Hey, no problem. Oh, the Nintendo Entertainment Platform. If you buy the digital version on those two platforms, I like
getting all my games on the NEP.
Yep. Oh man, the NEP. Oh, you don't have a Super NEP? Oh, jeez, you're missing out. It's like we're playing. What was that?
Whose line is it anyway?
No, Game Dev Story.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to generate a game for the Turbo Grayman 16 and the NEP.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you purchase the digital version of the game on those two platforms, until like the first week of January, you can just get the PS4 and Xbox One version for free. So
that's a cool story.
Go do that. And then they reminded everybody that all your characters, progress, stats, and gear will carry over between same platform across the two generations. So you're playing on 360, you can just pop Destiny into your Xbox One, and all your stuff is there already.
Oh,
that is really cool.
Yeah, so super, super cool. Also, if you're planning on getting Destiny, you might want to look online for the PAX emblem codes that came out. They might just be out there. You can put those in. Something that Knobs and I will probably be very excited about. Dead or Alive 5 Last Round announced.
Great, I can buy this game for the third time.
I am happy to do so. It's coming out for the 360, Xbox One, PS3, and PS4. $40 for the current gen, $30 digital only for the last gen. Contains all of the content that came out in Ultimate, was the last one?
Yeah.
Plus new content, including over 300 costumes to unlock. And all previous DLC will be transferable. No specifics about that. I'm assuming that if you have it on Xbox 360, then you can get all the DLC on your 360 copy of Last Round. It'd be nice if you could go between generations, but I'm not really holding my breath for that.
Yeah, it's not the type of game that's going to go out of the way to do that.
Yeah, so
I spent a lot of money on costume packs.
Yeah, I'm excited because I haven't played with any of the new characters that they came out with since Ultimate came out.
Nice.
And they're putting out more new ones.
All right. Well, here now we will be able to record Seven Hender and I's ridiculousness in this game.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh man.
And I need to get back into fighting shape, and I gotta start playing some more TOA again.
Yeah, start practicing.
Very cool.
Speaking of the Xbox One, buy an Xbox One this week. This week the episode is coming out. Get a free game. It's a disc-based game that's no more than $60. Get a free game. Some retailers, be careful. Some retailers are saying, yeah, you can totally do that with us, except for Destiny. So read the fine print. But yeah, there are good games out on the Xbox One. So if you're waiting to snag one of those up, get a free game.
Store participation may vary.
That's true. Please check your local listings. And the last news story we have here for the Hannah, The Room 3 coming to iOS and Android in spring 2015. Not spring 2015 like I wrote.
That's great news.
Stop working in software development.
Yeah.
And that's literally all we know about that game. There was a tweet where they're like, hey, here's this image. Hey, The Room 3 is coming out.
Hooray,
So,
that's all I need to know.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to play The Room 1 or 2, I think The Room 1 is $1 right now, and The Room 2 is like $3.
Yeah, they're both great, too.
Yeah. Super, super good. All right, let's move on to emails. First one is up here from Winemaker Joe.
Hey.
He sent over
way up in Canada.
Yeah. He sent over a quick note here that I wanted to plug here on the show. There's actually 2 plugs back to back here. But Winemaker Joe, you'll be surprised to find out his name is Joe and he makes wine. Apparently he hurt his back lately. And he and his family are kind of in a little bit of financial hairy situation here. So he took to the forums and said, look, I have all these games that are in great condition. I want to sell them to the TVGP community for pretty good prices.
Yeah.
So go check the forums. I think it's in Off Topic. It's called Bye Bye Old Games. Go help out a really cool dude that's been really big in the community. He's the one that sent me that cool TVGP cross stitch of the logo, which I still have somewhere in the house here. It moved all the way across the country with me, and managed to survive.
I have a picture of it above my desk at work.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Joe's a super cool dude. So if you have a couple of bucks, and you can help a dude out, you should go hop on the forums to do that.
Yeah.
The other plug we have here is the gentleman who created our logo, our very fantastic logo, and super cool dude who's created a ton of art for us over the years.
Flaming Elk?
Hmm?
Flaming Elk?
Yes, yeah, from Flaming Elk Studios, which has just such a cool logo. He's launching a pixel art webcomic called Obscurity Fighters. He says it's about a group of obscure fighting game characters from the 90s who are struggling to get their arcade game into the spotlight of modern gaming. You can find that at obscurityfighter.com. It's pretty good. You should.
It looks pretty great.
Yeah, you should check that out. He's doing a really good job on it. So, super cool dude. He did a lot of really great work for us over the years. So, go check him. Click on some ads, maybe. That helps always.
Indeed.
That's obscurityfighter.com. Next email here is from our spirit animal, Jim. He says,
Jim.
Spirit animal here, also known as Jimbo Jangles on the forums now. Welcome to the forums. He says, man, that place is pretty great, and Knobs, I'm still waiting for your sports ball feedback.
For what?
I don't know. Good question. Anyways, what games are you guys looking forward to this fall? My top 3 are Destiny, which is just 2 days away and can't wait. Halo Master Chief Collection, not just because I'm a fan. Also, I'm hoping it brings my old gang back together for some classic gaming nights. And man, that next-gen Batman looks pretty hot. Keep up the good work, dudes, and shout out to the community on the forums. Thanks for making me feel right at home. Best community in the forums, in the internet.
Yep.
That's why. Yeah, Destiny, I'm excited for. Let me pull up my pre-order list here. Anything you guys are heavily anticipating?
I'm excited to get into like a few older games, like obviously Diablo 3. Like we're just kind of itching to jump in, but I want to do that with people because it's always more fun to play with people.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I just get tired just sitting by myself. Like I start falling asleep. But yeah, that Destiny I'm weirdly excited for because that game was not on my radar at all.
Yeah.
The new Borderlands.
Yeah, I've got that pre-ordered. I'm worried about that game, but my fiance and I are still gonna play it. It would have been nice if it would be coming out on current gen consoles, but I get it. So we'll just play it on 360.
Yeah.
With the announcement of DOA 5, I am stoked.
Yeah. You should also pick up Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah,
I do.
should.
I own it.
Yeah, you should play Sleeping Dogs then.
You really should. I would say I'm sort of interested to see what Alien Isolation turns out to be.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if that turns out to really be as scary as it looks.
Yeah. I'm also really looking forward to where is it at? The new Dragon Age.
Yes, I'm so excited for that. I have to go back and play through the first 2. So, for anybody that's interested in Inquisition, if you haven't played back through the first 2, as long as I watched their sort of demo video for Dragon Age Keep, which is this, like, let's transition Dragon Age 1 and 2, your save files into 3. I didn't know about this, but apparently it hooks into your BioWare account. So if you hooked that into your first 2 games, you should be able to just go to the website for Dragon Age Keep whenever it launches and just kind of import all that stuff from your profile. So if anybody's interested in Inquisition and love the first 2, go check your BioWare account now, because some people are reporting some weird issues with it.
Yeah,
or just replay through them again. That's okay too.
And I'm sort of pumped for
I've
Costume
never
Quest
played.
2.
What was that, Gnomes?
I was gonna say I never played Dragon Age.
They're not for you. I will
Yeah.
save you the time. You would hate them. I promise you would hate them. It's like this old school, low fantasy, medieval, weird storyline, PC, like almost 1995 PC based CRPG. It is all the way not a game for you. Dragon Age 2 maybe, because it's a little bit more like...
Actiony?
Yeah, it's a little bit more actiony, but it's not great, even though I like it a lot. So, but Inquisition will hopefully be good. Yay.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
Yeah. What else did you have, Hannah? I cut you off.
I just noticed Costume Quest 2 on this list.
Oh, yeah, that comes out Halloween this year, right?
October 7th, it looks like.
Lame.
Right before Halloween. So,
Well, right around the corner.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like everything else I'm seeing here, I'm like kind of not really feeling like everything I really want to play is moved to 2015.
Yeah, what do I have pre-ordered here for 2014? Bayonetta 2, of course.
Yeah.
Persona Q. I'm so excited for that. Sunset Overdrive, which is the thing that I'm excited I have an Xbox One for.
Yeah, that would. I don't have an Xbox One, so it's kind of like, all right.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Unity. Excited about that. Excited to see what that is. Yeah. Far Cry 4. I have that pre-ordered. PlayStation TV comes out this year in a month.
Yeah.
Month and a week. Oh, I forgot about it. Got delayed to the end of this month, but Forza Horizon 2.
Yeah.
Super pumped about that. I loved that first one. The new Theater Rhythm. That's about all I have pre-ordered. Quote unquote all I have pre-ordered. Yeah, I don't know. This month is kind of dastardly for releases, and the rest of the year is kind of rough for releases too. But we got a lot of great stuff coming out.
I forgot about one. I didn't realize this was the game I thought it was. Massive Chalice from Double Fine, their turn-based strategy game.
Yeah, I just watched the Quick Look EX on Giant Bomb. I backed it, and they have been like live streaming every week, and this is the first thing I've seen of it.
Yeah,
that looks really good. They made Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, I'm super. I'm super pumped for that.
Yeah.
Did any of you guys see the Madden glitch?
Yes, the tiny character.
Might have been the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's
was
really
amazing.
Good.
That was fantastic.
All right, let's move on to tweets. Soul Child 83 writes in and says, "Just got done listening to this week's episode. Can Boston provide tips on beating Diablo 3 on hardcore in the next episode?" And then I asked him or her which class they're playing, and they said Crusader, but willing to play any class to make hardcore easier. Thanks, love the show. Crusader seems like a really good default choice because it's very tanky and it has a lot of survivability. So you might not be bad. Might not be a bad choice on that one. I picked Demon Hunter because it's far away from where the enemies are.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Wizard would be pretty okay for that too.
Yeah, I would say even Barbarian because, you're in the fray, but you're doing so much damage it doesn't matter.
And the thing...
I heard...
Well, go ahead.
I heard you can tank with the Paladin, too.
Yeah.
That's the Crusader, yeah. It looks like a Paladin. I don't know why they named it Crusader. But the thing that I think is really important for Demon Hunter, Wizard, and Barbarian is they all have escape plans. Like, I know you can roll with the right stick. That doesn't really do much when you have teleport or vault or jump or leap. Yeah. I'm sorry, that's what they call it. I think the thing that saved me the most for hardcore, I've been primarily focused on just getting that trophy. So I've been playing almost exclusively on normal, even though it's taking longer. And I just moved over to hard once I hit level 60. Just take your time. If you see a bunch of enemies in front of you, if you haven't healed up completely, just take a breath, take a breather, take a knee, and just wait for all your health to come back. Wait for your potion to be fully replenished. If you see a bunch of elites and they haven't seen you yet, wait for all your stuff to come back up from cooldown. Like just take time to do it, and don't be dumb. Like you know when you're being dumb, where you're like, oh, there's 2 packs of elites and a freaking rare, whatever. Let's go take on. Oh, I'm dead.
Yep.
Character deleted.
Yeah.
You know, like just take your time. Everything will be fine. If you're really focused on leveling up really quickly, just finish the game as fast as you can and get to adventure mode. The experience in adventure mode is really great.
Nice.
And hardcore really isn't that bad. Just as long as you take your time and as long as you don't care that you might lose your character, then everything will be okay.
And just remember, the Nemesis can pop up at any time.
I have never gotten a Nemesis in hardcore.
Oh, maybe that's it would make sense, actually.
Yeah, that would be really mean if they did.
Yeah.
But I also think it's because, one, nobody's really playing hardcore on my friends list, and two, you're trying not to die, so maybe you'll never see one in hardcore?
Maybe.
Adderblack writes in and says, "Hi guys, which games
Hi.
that you have played have benefited by playing on a hard or punishing difficulty? I hear The Last of Us is an example." Boy, I feel like there's something on the tip of my tongue that really is.
Playing Ninja Gaiden on the higher difficulties definitely made that game a far more satisfying experience than a regular beat 'em up.
I think that's what I was thinking of, which was Bayonetta. Where when you play it on lower difficulty, it's like, yeah, I'm dodging, I'm freezing time, sure. But when you play it on the hard difficulties, like that game will chew you up and spit you out during the tutorial. Like it will not care. I feel like if there's a game I played on a really hard difficulty lately that I really enjoyed. Man, I don't even remember.
I would say Diablo benefits from it pretty well. I mean, I was super bored on even hard, so I kicked it up to expert, and I was like, all right, this is better.
Yeah,
this makes
it's
sense.
Giving Lee a little bit of a challenge now.
No, I got an older one that I loved playing on the harder difficulties was Gungrave.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone that I like. I never really went out of my way to challenge myself with like high difficulty levels or anything.
Yeah.
I was never. I just like I get challenge. I don't want to be terribly challenged. I want like a pretty flat level experience. I want to like if I'm playing a game for story, I want to experience the story.
Dimebag in chat brings up a really good example of Borderlands 2. That's probably one of the best examples in the last couple of years because it's not just, hey, enemies have more health now and you get more experience. It's like when you play an Ultimate Vault Hunter mode or whatever the highest one is, like enemies are way nastier. They have regenerating health.
Yeah.
I mean, they do like triple damage and you do half damage. I mean, it becomes it's a lot like Diablo where when you start playing Diablo and like you finally get to the point where you can play Torment 1, it's kind of this gate where it's like, okay, I have enough cool gear, I have a cool enough setup, like everything synergizes, and now I can kind of work my way through this, but until that point, it's just like, nope, you got to get some better stuff, man, because you are not ready for this thing.
Yeah.
Borderlands is a great one for that because I mean that's the only way you're going to get the better loot, or especially when you're raiding and stuff. Then they started nerfing the raiding at lower difficulties too.
Yeah, and they balance it well enough that it's still fun. Like it's tough, but it's still pretty fun. Dimebag315 in chat says, when you guys have kids, will you tell them about old classic games they need to play, or let them find out for themselves? Probably a combo of both.
Yeah, I will definitely like when I have a kid that's old enough to play. Like my nephew and my niece are like right there. I want to go and get an NES, so that they can have that experience.
I feel like it's the sort of thing that you probably want to like leave the NES and the Genesis set up with like a couple of games. Like some of them are good, some of them are really bad, but you don't want to give them like 120 games. You just want to be like, this is the game you get this month. You know, like, and then just sort of like, don't even tell them how to use it. Just be like, here you go. Here's some controllers. Figure it out.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, even like even recently, I mean, it's what gives me a little bit of a hope in the younger gamers is Sean's kid, Logan. He was jonesing to borrow my my Sega Saturn.
Oh, nice.
And this is a 14-year-old kid that just wanted to play a Saturn and see what it was all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just curiosity. Like, just fostering that, I think, will be the goal.
Well, and it's also like, sure, there's something to be said about emulation, and there's a lot of great things that emulation is doing for archiving for games.
Yeah.
But there's also just something like, hey, here's this Saturn, and here's this 6-button monstrosity controller, and it is slow to load these games. You know, like all these problems that are kind of important for someone that's curious about it. You know, like you can't emulate a VMU that I know of.
No.
I mean, could you imagine like someone sitting down now and trying to play a Sega CD game?
Oh, it'd be
because
impossible.
the load times are, it's not
Is it broken?
a few seconds. it's minutes.
And it's over there like
Yeah.
you know, like it's not a quiet thing anymore.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Man, I want to play Heimdall.
There you go.
Damn it.
See you later.
That's what I'm doing tonight.
Thy Dark Angel writes in and says, my contribution to this week's podcast, and he sends over an animated GIF that I'm going to put here in the stream,
Oh boy.
is a Japanese lady kissing the Sega logo. There you go.
Good man.
That's
Fantastic.
probably a Dreamcast commercial if I wanna guess.
Yeah.
Still a shame we never got Sega Gaga over here, but there's no way to translate that thing. Urgent X Fury writes in and says, controller and the worst controller. Best for me is Super NES or Xbox 360. Worst for me is Atari Jaguar.
Ooh, was that the one with all like the letters and stuff on it?
It had like it had the number pad on it.
Yeah, that's what it was.
To me, I think the best one is the 360.
I don't know, man. The PS4 controller feels real nice.
Yeah. That one is really nice. It fits well in my hands.
Yeah. It's wide. Like even the 360 controller, I always felt was just a little too narrow. Like my knuckles sort of like bounce together sometimes.
I like the weight of
large
the PS4
hands.
controller.
Yeah.
It has like just the best weight.
Yeah, it really does. As far as worst, it's sort of a tie for me because I really dislike the N64 controller,
Yeah. I think that's an abomination.
and I'm not terribly fond of the Dreamcast controller either.
My pick for worst is Dreamcast. Because it's actually a really great controller. I think if you're going to be serious about worst controller, I think it's the N64 controller. But I think the problem that I have with the Dreamcast controller is it's so well designed, except that it's convex.
Yeah.
And that just screws... Like, it's such a good controller, and it's a good size, and the wings on it aren't too big, and it had good... It was like the first controller that had a place for your fingers to go.
Yeah.
Like, in the VMU...
You actually hold it.
Yeah, and like the VMU and the memory cards... like clicked in the top in a really cool way. You could like mash them in there, and like the analog stick was really cool. Just that surface of it was just like, if we're gonna be honest, it's the N64 controller, because anytime you hand someone to that controller that has never seen it or used it, you don't know how to use it.
You don't know how to hold it. It's not even a matter of using it. You don't know how to hold it. You look at it and it's like, wait, I don't have enough hands.
I have 2 hands. This has 3 hand things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, or your hands are mushed together in half of it. You're only using half of it at one time.
Or you're like doing the huge thumb reach over to the analog stick. Like, it's just...
Yeah,
it's
just
bad.
not. And that analog stick was never built to last at all, or
No.
take any of the abuse that it eventually got given, especially for like Mario Party.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just-
everyone had that palm
Right there.
blister.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just rub
Man.
it
Hold it
along.
sideways.
And like you go and like go to a thrift store or something, like see if you can find an N64 controller. I guarantee you the dead zone on that thing is almost the entire
Yeah.
thing.
It's just
Like
messed
it's
up.
just yeah.
I'd say the Wavebird was probably one of my favorites.
Oh,
Oh,
Wavebird was
yeah.
so good. I forgot about that.
The Wavebird was fantastic because it made up for. So like my biggest problem with the GameCube controller is that hole in the middle.
Oh, I
'Cause,
thought you were
like,
going to say that the cable is like 2 feet long.
Well, no, that's a completely different problem. But like holding a regular GameCube controller never felt right.
Yeah.
But the Wavebird feels perfect.
Yeah. Man, that was a good controller.
Yep.
I would say worst of all time is the ColecoVision controller.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Oh, man.
It is the most inept thing I've ever held in my hands, ever.
I mean, at least when you go for like the 2600 or the 5200, at least it's like a joystick and 1 button. Where you're like,
Yeah.
all right, that's all I need.
Well, no,
really.
that had cards you had to slide into it
Yep.
and it never quite lined up right.
No. Ugh. God.
Ugh.
So bad.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Wow.
might win. that
But
one.
probably my all-time favorite controller still to this day is the Sega Genesis 6-button controller.
Yes,
That
I was
a
actually going to say
quality
that.
control, and you could beat the crap out of that thing, and it would still work. I bet you could
Yes.
dunk that in water, and 20 minutes
Oh.
later, you're playing Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Mine has been soaked in Mountain Dew I don't know how many times.
Yeah.
All you take it apart, get your little rubbing alcohol, get it all cleaned
Yeah.
up, pop the thing back together, and it works.
Yep.
God, that was always the best. I would do that to any controller I bought used for like the 360 way back
Oh,
when,
yeah.
and just pull it apart, soak it, soak all the plastic parts, and then clean like everything up.
Yeah.
Ah, man, so good.
Man, controllers.
Yeah, they're the best.
That's all the emails and tweets we have for this week. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. If you'd
Ooh.
like to visit us, you can do so.
Actually, you know what?
Whoop.
I do have a.
Go ahead.
Is it?
You
Oh,
froze
no,
for a second, sorry.
We cut out at a weird spot.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
actually, I had another great one. Was the original arcade stick for the Genesis, the 3-button one that had the turbo buttons on it,
Oh,
was
yeah.
a legitimate arcade stick. Like
Yeah.
that thing had such play in that stick. Was awesome.
Yeah.
And for the worst, Master System's arcade stick, because it was all right. It was the same size as the regular. It was the same size as like picture an NES, an NES pad that's just
Yeah.
maybe 2 inches bigger, and on top of it was literally like say this is the controller, this was the stick on it,
Which is
Like,
this
it was-
monstrosity.
and that thing was. I mean, you had to hold it like a hammer.
Like a gear
Yeah.
shift.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
it was
I'm-
like,
I forgot about this Genesis stick, man. I forgot it had that slider for the. I'm sorry, it's not
Yes.
turbo. It's Mega Fire.
Mega Fire, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
man.
fantastic. Oh.
that's one of the very few things I've actually had stolen from me, but I still have the box for it.
Of course. All right, if you want to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Email us tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp, and everything else is on the right-hand side of the page.
And please join the forums. Don't forget to mark yourselves on the map. Come join us for our community game nights, which is Monday night is Battlefield 4 on the Xbox One. Thursday night Steam game night. We got a group for that, and I don't know if we're still working on a PS4 game night on Wednesdays.
Yeah, what's up in the forums? I think the regular game is up for debates currently, as is the time, but I think it's sort of starting to settle at 8 p.m. either Central or Eastern. Just check the forums; it's
Nice.
on there. The current TVGP Game Club game is Saints Row the Third. I'll be hopping on that in the next couple of days because I have to. And check it out; it's an awesome game. It's totally worth your time, and I feel like it was free for like games with gold a few months
Yeah,
back.
it
I
was.
think
So you might even have it already.
That's true. And don't forget to check out the Game Club 19 recap episode for Brutal Legend. It's in the feed right now. It is 3 hours of pure magic.
It's pretty crazy. We are always accepting feedback on our format. We're probably going to try changing it up this next show too. So
There you go. Tune in when it comes. And
Yep.
don't forget to tune in every week here for this dumb show, Stupid Live, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. Thank you very much, as always, for listening. We love each and every one of you, the best community on the internet. We'll
Yep.
see you all next week.
Laters.
peace.
All right, titles.
Oh, all right. I got a few here. We've got actual physical accolades, blind 9, strategically placed trees, nemesis obituary, everyone seems to hate change, lack of pools, spreading taffy, Sims Gumby edition, level up your mixology, silver medal and throwing a dinner party, Xbox One. It's about the moon. Who cares? I don't know what a percher is. NEP, Super NEP, and sports ball feedback. And I've got 3 here from Dimebag in chat. Arrows don't lie. How do you get your sanity back? Or how do you get sanity back? And snail victory is the best.
I like Super Nep a lot.
Super NEP.
I just looked up NEP to make sure it's not something horrible and offensive.
Oh,
and
good
it's
call.
the new economic policy, so I think we're okay.
Oh, all right. Yeah, Super NEP's good. I was a pretty big fan of strategically placed trees, but that was sort of a one-off.
Yeah. I feel like strategically placed trees sounds like a lot of our episode titles.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough.
all right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 359 for September 8th, 2014. Super NEP.
Sega Jupiter.
now with 4.
Ba-da-bop-ba-da-bop. Thanks for everyone for listening. Thanks for everyone for watching.
Yep.
We'll see you next week.
Later.
Bye.